You know, on the shelves of my office, I have several things that I'm proud of. I've got my Certified Speaking Professional medal right here. Worked hard to get that over time. I've got the ball from when I threw out the first pitch at a San Diego Padres game. That was a lot of fun. When our division closed 1,000 homes in 1 year, that was quite a triumph, but it's nothing. Nothing compared to this right here. Here it is, my official championship ring for winning our fantasy football league last year. Bring it. Hey, it's Jeff. I'm in my studio today doing some filming here. I'm up against the green screen right now, but I had an Ask Jeff question that came in. It was actually kind of a challenge. We often talk at Shore Consulting about 4-hour follow-up, about getting back in touch with your customer within 4 hours. And someone challenged me and said, that seems sort of quick, don't you think? And let me just tell you why 4 hours and why I think 4 hours makes a lot of sense. The fact of the matter is that if you wait 24 hours to follow up with somebody, especially if you've just met them for the first time, a lot happens in 24 hours. A lot happens in their life, right? They go visit your competitors, they've got things going on at home, they go to work, and they just sort of forget about you. And then 24 hours later, you almost have to reintroduce yourself. But if you follow up in just 4 hours, something wonderful happens. It's an extension of the relationship. At that point, you can just say, hey, it's Jeff. Wanted to check in and see how the rest of your day had gone and see if you had any questions for me. You see, before they leave you in that initial appointment, you can say, hey, I know you got a lot to think about. I know you're going to look at some of the other offerings out there. Why don't I call you in a few hours? Because people always have questions. And now they're expecting your call, and you can just extend the relationship. So listen, nobody else is going to do it. This is your opportunity to stand out and stand out in a profound way. 4-hour follow-up. Trust me, you'll love it. So we just finished a huge event, our annual Sales Leadership Summit in Coronado. It was a tremendous success. It went really, really well. And one of the things that I focused on was the idea of storytelling, and very specifically, what is the story of your product? And I wanted to just challenge you a little further on that with an extension of the thought. One of the things that we think about when we think about our product story, when we think about the story of the company origin or the inspiration or whatever it is, I'll tell you what the biggest concern with product stories are. They're usually about the product. And I know that sounds like it should be obvious. Of course, a product story is going to be about the product, but what about the customer? And I think when you look at the best stories out there, they're the stories that really focus on the customer, and they cause the customer to see themselves in the story. And when you think about storytelling, it's kind of an interesting little attribute that when we think about our stories, when we think about the stories of our lives and how we interact with our products, one thing that's in common is that we are always the star of our own story, right? So if we have a travel story, it's about us. And even if the story was something that we saw, we still place ourselves in it. That's what we do. It's part of the storytelling phenomenon. So when you think about your product, why would it be any different? Why is your product story all about your product? It seems to me that the most effective product story would be about the customer. Because your product, whatever it is that you're selling, is nothing more than a solution. But that solution only applies when it resonates with the customer's problem. So if we can figure out how to retell the story, if we can back that up and think through, what does my customer want? What does my customer need? What is my customer's issue? Then I can tell a story that specifically addresses that concern. It's a different way to look at stories, but you'll find that it's far more effective.